The Vanishing of Ethan Carter is not a traditional game in any sense. It lives somewhere between the newly popular walking simulators, spawning games like Everybody's Gone to the Rapture and Dear Esther, mixed with murder mystery games such as CSI and the Sherlock Holmes series. Despite these common traits with other games, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter seems to escape classification and breeds its own genre of game, a game in which photorealistic, beautiful landscapes surround the player at every turn. Mysteries are to be solved, and at any time something bizarre can happen, like being swept off your feet into a void by an anonymous astronaut you find wandering the forest. At its heart, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter is an experience. Unlike a walking simulator, you can run, which makes exploring a lot easier going, set in an openly explorable area that encompasses a lake, its dam and surrounding countryside, as well as buildings, underground areas like mines, and breathtaking countryside vistas. You can't help but feel like you are exploring miles of real and beautiful countryside. Although you are in an open world, there is a few limits to where you can explore around the edges of Red Creek, and you can't enter the water either, but with so much to do and see, you never feel restricted. You start your experience emerging from a tunnel into a forest, and from the offset you find yourself with multiple paths you could take, with story-based interactions at every turn. But once you have taken in the breathtaking photorealistic textures and beautiful sunrise, it's time to get to work. The game is very intuitive and doesn't require great skill in its controls. Simply look at an object that interests you and your thoughts are personified. There's blood on the engine's bumper. Could it be human? An animal's blood? And how did it get there? The vehicle has clearly been moved away from the area where the incident has happened because there's no blood around it. Your character seems to think of the same things you naturally do, so you feel quite in touch with the thought process and how the game works. Although you will spend a lot of time exploring in this game, the main game mechanic in terms of solving the mystery and unlocking the story begins with a clue. You then follow the clues and activate memories showing you what happened using your paranormal senses to piece the story together. Once you have discovered each clue for a particular scene, you can put the events in chronological order to finally view an echo of the past, thus moving the story onto the next stage.
Listen to me. We can destroy it. I know how.
You can't destroy it, Ethan. You can't destroy time. And that's what he is. He is forever.
You will need to put the parts of the puzzle together using clues and logic, but this is only one part of this enthralling adventure. Although solving mysteries is a big part of the game, so is exploring. Throughout the sandbox that is Red Creek, you can wander off and explore. Exploring in this game is rewarded, but it isn't too difficult to find those hidden gems, so no need to check under every rock, fern or tree stump. On your mission to track down Ethan Carter and understand what happened in this mysterious town, you also discover objects that allow you to relive Ethan's fleeting memories, as well as living Ethan's short stories, of which pages are scattered throughout the countryside. You'll be thrown into a surreal experience that you can never quite tell is part of the reality of the game until you find yourself reading back the experience on a scrappy piece of lined paper that Ethan has left behind on his journey. This is one of the things the game does so well. You can never be sure what you're seeing is real, or if your paranormal powers have taken it upon themselves to show you something interesting. And this is in no way a bad thing. The balance between reality and imagination is so well represented that you're constantly kept guessing, and as a result it makes for a really fresh and compelling experience. You find yourself genuinely wanting to know what happened to the people here, and if they are still alive, will you ever find Ethan Carter, or is it too late? Only through exploration of a stunningly beautiful world and solving sometimes really challenging puzzles will you find out.
Dad, get off of him! He's your brother! Get off of him!
The The Vanishing of Ethan Carter is a beautiful game that really sets the bar for next generation graphics, as well as bringing a fresh and compelling experience that rivals the tedium of many AAA titles. It will leave you baffled and in awe, inspired and motivated. You'll feel for the characters and push the limits of your imagination. If you enjoy walking simulators, murder mysteries, puzzles and a good narrative, this game is for you. And at a third of the price of most new releases, there isn't many reasons not to buy it. Though a word of caution, the game is typically only 5 to 8 hours long, depending on your playstyle, so completionists may get their money's worth, but if you like to skip ahead through a game and not stop and smell the roses, this may not be the game for you. You can form your own opinion about this game, but for me, personally, I give this game a 9.5 out of 10.